Hey guys, welcome back to Silhouette Success. We have a super fun project for this video. I can't wait to get started. But I was scrolling through on social media the other day and I came across a controversial post, and I thought maybe we could take a few minutes and discuss it here as well. The question is vinyl crafting a dying art? You have your Silhouette or maybe Cricut or Brother Scan and Cut. Maybe you've had it for years. Now, I know that these machines started selling like hotcakes at the beginning of the pandemic, mostly to people looking to start a side hustle in uncertain economic times. Some succeeded, some didn't, but regardless of individual stories, the market quickly became saturated and the demand for vinyl customization quickly faded. Many crafters have moved on to DTF and sublimation. Laser engravers are becoming more affordable. So the question is, has your vinyl cutter become obsolete? Now, if you're talking about taking some HTV and slapping it on a white Gildan basic t-shirt, I say, yeah, that's pretty much done and over with. However, if you want to think outside of the box, switch up your blanks, use your imagination, you can create some amazing products that people absolutely will love using your vinyl cutter. Today I am starting with a pair of basic white canvas shoes from Walmart. We're going to use blue painter's tape to protect the soles of the shoes and an extra cup of coffee to get the creativity flowing. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this topic in the comments. So while I finish taping these up, let me know how you feel about all of this. Is vinyl a dying art, or is it here to stay? I personally think we got this. Now, I already tested my markers and picked out which colors I wanted to use for this project. I'm going to go with a simple rainbow pattern, but you can be as creative at this point as you would like to be. Draw shapes or patterns or lines. This is where you want to let your artistic side really come out. This right here is the part of the project where I started questioning all of my life choices. This looks bad, but you have to trust the process on this one. I promise you, they are the cutest things I've seen in quite some time. I was still doubting my choices on the whole rainbow thing, so I switched gears and decided to add in some larger color blocks to maybe tone it down a little bit. I would definitely recommend getting the Sharpie brand marker for this project. I picked up the Bic brand because I wanted to see if they would fit in the pen adapter for the Cameo better than the Sharpie does. I cannot get the Sharpies to go into the pen adapter for the Cameo. So I picked up the Bic, and they do fit in the adapters, and I think they would be fine for most projects. But when covering a large area like this, I think that Sharpie wins hands down. Okay, this next step is where it all starts to come together. You're going to want to grab some rubbing alcohol, and you can either dab this on with a foam brush like I did, or you can just spritz it with a spray bottle, whatever you feel is best. You don't want to get too much on there. I probably overdid it. Also, you might want to do this part outside or at least in a well-ventilated room. The fumes do get to be a bit much. I did notice that the lighter colors blended better than the darker colors, so you might want to keep that in mind when you're creating your own patterns. When you're done applying the rubbing alcohol, you're going to want to remove the painter's tape as quickly as you can and wipe off any of the drips that got through. Then we're going to set these aside to dry and head over to Silhouette Studio to design the vinyl part of this project. This design may look familiar. I have used it before. It's from Creative Fabrica, and as always, I will drop a link. I'm going to ungroup it, turn it all to white, and then start trying to organize my thoughts here. I'm going to be using Stay and Groovy, but I want them to be kind of the same width. So let me just move these around a bit. I do not need this part. I'm going to get rid of it. And then just line these up a little bit better. Scale it down so that it will fit on the heel of the shoe. And then bring them up to the top. I want a couple of these flowers to be a bit larger. I'm going to set this at 1.25 for the width. We don't need that, it's just a smaller duplicate. Let's scale that one to 1.25 as well. Now I'm going to duplicate these so that I have the same amount for each shoe. Now I'm just going to go through and start replicating and scaling so that I have different sizes and enough of the different sizes to cover both of the shoes. I was working on this early Sunday morning, so my brain was not at full capacity, but I promise we do get through this. I want this set just a bit smaller. And I think that looks okay. Now I'm going to ungroup everything. I don't want anything grouped together except for the Stay and Groovy. All of the flowers I want separate. I'm going to head over to the nesting panel, open that up, and just click Nest, and that will organize all of the flowers so that it will not waste any vinyl. I'm going to choose Heat Transfer Vinyl Smooth, bump my blade depth up by 1, and it's ready to send through the machine. You can see here that I removed a flower center before I unloaded my mat. If you test your cut before the mat is unloaded, you can adjust your settings and send it back through if needed. This has saved me a lot of vinyl. I like to have my lint roller nearby for the smaller bits and pieces. And now that that's done, I'm going to cut these flowers out. I should have adjusted the padding in the nesting panel so that there was more space for trimming, but I'll just have to be extra careful with this step. I did let the shoes dry for 12 hours, but I'm going to go ahead and do a pre-press to make sure there's no more moisture left in the material. I am so ready to see these little hippie flowers on the shoes. This was my first attempt at applying vinyl to shoes, so I ran into a couple of issues. Here's my advice. 1. Wear a good pair of heat gloves. shoe, use paper to really stuff the shoes well. 3, be mindful of the rubber soles, they will melt. And 4, don't forget the parchment paper. If you find this whole process as groovy as I did, please hit the like button. It does help me out a ton, and it'll push this video out into the YouTube universe so other crafters can find it as well. Okay, I am obsessed. These turned out amazing, and the heat transfer vinyl really brought the whole project to another level. As far as I know, the only way to achieve this look on canvas shoes is with heat transfer vinyl. So, is working with vinyl dying out? I really don't think so. I think we just have to dig deep, find new projects to work on, and run with it. I absolutely love my Cameo 4, and I wouldn't trade it in for the world. If you haven't taken a second to voice your opinion on this matter yet, please do so in the comments. I'm going to be hanging out in the comment section for at least an hour after this video is published, and I will try to reply to as many comments as I can after that as well. But I think this is a topic worth discussing. I personally love my Cameo 4, and I'm not going to give up my vinyl crafting for a long time. Anyway, let me know how you feel on this subject. If you are in the mood for another video, you can go ahead and watch this one here. This is the other video where I use the same design that I put on the shoes. If not, go create something amazing, and I will see you in the next video.